Welcome to the Dare to Share Challenge. I am so happy to have you with us today, and I am super excited because we have another incredible guest ready for you, and it is our first male coming to the stage, braving the stage to Dare to Share. If you've just joined us and you've just stumbled across the Dare to Share Challenge, let me tell you what you're in store for. This is all part of a Real and the Raw Leaders movement, which is about pulling back the curtains, removing all of the smoke and the mirrors, dropping the facades, and showcasing the human behind the perception, so that you realize everyone that you look up to is also navigating exactly the same things behind the scenes. So with that being said, please welcome to the stage Mr. Robert Tettero.
Hi. When I saw you come by, it couldn't have been a more perfect moment. It couldn't have been a more perfect moment because it is exactly coinciding with I would say, hitting rock bottom.
Okay.
And just giving it up, giving it up to spirit. And I am completely confident on the path that I am on. I've come to so many realizations, and I thought, not only powerful to share, but it's just a very powerful process for me just to be able to release whatever is blocking me of being fully successful.
Yes, amazing. Well, I was going to ask you what made you want to come on the challenge, but I think you've just answered it. It was divine timing.
It was.
Perfect. For you guys watching, I'm about to ask Robert a couple of really potent questions that on the surface might not seem like much, but when we peel back the layers and we dive deeper than we would normally go, we get some really amazing insights into the lives behind the perceptions of what we see in the online space. And we really start to realize that there's no difference to any of us. We're all just here navigating this crazy thing called life and doing our best to make it the life that we desire. So, Robert, before we ask the big questions, I would love to ask you which level of vulnerability you're opting for today. And we have two options, okay? So we have the stretchy level, which is about your journey. It's your story. It's the things that you've overcome and you've got out the other side and you've learned the lesson and you're here to share that with people. Or we have the extreme level. And this is something that you're navigating or experiencing or trying to figure out in real time behind the scenes right now. Neither one is easy, let's be clear, but where do you want to take us today?
Extreme, extreme, extreme.
This is my favorite because this is just so powerful for you guys watching when leaders come on and they really stretch their vulnerability to this level. Okay, let's dive in, shall we?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Question number one is, what does being a real and a raw leader mean to you? And we're not just talking about in business, okay? We're talking about the human, the person, the individual behind the scenes, living an everyday life, that realness and that rawness. What does that look like and mean to you?
It's all about authenticity, being really authentic, no matter who, whether it be with family, with friends. It's just to say exactly what it is that you have on your mind, in your heart, whether they like it or not. They might get angry, but again, I always tell them I'm not coming from a place of accusation. I'm just telling you how I feel. So it's just about honoring your space, where you are, with whatever you're feeling, and just to be truthful.
I love that.
A long time ago, I said to myself, I want to be free. So what that meant was being completely truthful and having absolutely no secrets anymore. I mean, everybody can ask me anything they want on whatever topic they wish information on, and I am completely transparent and open to share my experience.
That takes a lot of courage. And
yeah, absolutely. So that's one thing. Is that authenticity. The other thing is to walk your talk. I've been teaching and guiding people for over 30 years, and I can truly say I am successful. Um, I've only had people come to me over 30 years who by word of mouth. I've never done anything on my branding. I've never done anything in regard to marketing. I've never had done any advertising. So that already says a lot. But I always said, I'm not going to be standing in front of groups of people if I don't uh, if I don't walk my talk, if I don't personify, completely that which I stand for.
Yeah, it's so important.
So absolutely, absolutely. Way back when I still had problems with my first child. So I said, I'm not going to stand there and telling people how they should deal with problematic children when I can't even deal with my own child, you know? So clean up your own mess first,
Yeah.
and out of experience, and then you can only be able to help anybody else, regardless of what topic, it's about.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I used to give money seminars as well. And I decided to give up on giving money seminars because that's exactly one thing that I had not been consistent with, where I have absolutely not been successful in. Over the 30 years, it's just been a roller coaster ride.
Yeah.
Very successful, nothing at all. Very successful. I've just not found that consistency. And I hear myself saying, "Oh, I've been working for over 30 years and really helping people out of the love that I have for people, which was my prime motivator. It had never been around money." But I hear myself saying, "But what do I have to show for it?" If every time I have to, oh my God, but we don't have money to do this, or we don't have money to do this, that I always have to worry about the one or other thing. And despite that, this is the interesting thing. The the last 4 years that we've really had financial problems, despite that, we've always done everything we wanted to do anyway.
Mm,
And that's because I just keep going back to having faith and to trusting the process. But I just wanted to figure out what it specifically was that I needed to do to deal with this, to overcome this sense of failure in regards to my financial situation.
mm, wow.
So, I often have people in front of me and they're like, well, no, I don't have the money to do this or to do that. And I'm always really surprised, and I'm actually smiling inwardly because I'm like, well, no, it's not about having the money. Sometimes we don't have the resources, but it's all about being resourceful. And I'm the living proof of that. Regardless of the situation we were in financially, although it really pulled me down emotionally and energetically, I still was always able to do what I wanted. However, I've had enough.
Which leads us probably into the big question, is it? Let's move on to this bit. So for you guys watching, so that you know, I never know what any of the leaders who come onto this stage are going to share with us. I never give them any guidance. All I ask is that they make it a little bit stretchy, that they push their own edge of comfortability so that they go first. They showcase the human behind the perception and they share their vulnerability with all to see, so that you realize you are exactly the same. And if they can do it, then you can do it too. So with that being said, Robert, what is it that you're willing to dare to share with us today?
Well, I got myself trapped. I set myself up because last year we were living on Tenerife. We were living in Italy 5 years, 5 years prior to moving to Tenerife. We just wanted to change scenery. But during that year, that is last year, I decided to write a book, and it's right in the process of being published. The title of the book is Transcending the Ordinary, a guide to ultimate freedom, happiness, and success. Now, if I'm pretentious enough to say, look, I have something here in this book that if you would follow it literally, word by word, then you will achieve ultimate success, happiness, and freedom, right? Well, now I have to prove it to myself, right? I just realized, oh my God, now Spirit is really taking me through the process of proving to myself that what I'm writing here, I am going to have to apply it for myself first.
Mm.
So everything started failing. Everything started failing, literally. Uh, I'm traveling around through Italy with my family and dog, living wherever we end up. And I swear to you and all you viewers out there, I don't have more than 800 euros on my account. So you're going to have to rely on a lot of faith to go out there and still do what you're doing and keep trusting. I have to continually go back. No, what is this all about? It's not about obtaining and wanting. I use the affirmation, everything that I want, I already have, and everything I need is already there.
Mm.
So this just roots me into the here and now and not be at all concerned with the fear that would otherwise be driving me. So I have to constantly guide myself back to my own center, to this level of faith, you know, and that's a big word. What am I supposed to have faith in then? Right. But I was doing a session on myself. It was a breathing session underwater, a hot water rebirthing session. And I had this incredible epiphany. And I actually started crying during my own session. And I was crying in a sense of understanding and joy that I experienced because what happened was I saw the value of failure.
Yes.
I saw the virtue in failure. And I realized my success is only going to be dependent on the effort that I make on surmounting my failure, right? And that was just something new to me. I always talk about that, you know, because all the moments in the 30 years where I've had moments, you know, where I was challenged, extremely challenged, uh, I never experienced myself as being a failure, and and because of that, I never had to think of a temporary defeat. I just kept doing what I was doing. However, I was not engaging. I just kept staying, you know, on this level and not growing anymore. So due to this, the process that I was in of writing this book, I really charged myself with with the, how do you say that? With the objective of applying everything that I know and that I've been teaching,
Mm.
you know?
Wow.
So it's been just an incredible ride. And just to be able to say, yeah, I failed financially. For 18 years in Holland, I tried to create a powerful, strong spiritual community. I completely failed in that, honestly. I completely failed. And I felt I was, you know, schlepping, you know, all these people along and carrying everybody in their nonsense when what I should have been doing is holding them accountable, right? Holding them accountable and keep asking them to recommit themselves every single time again, to recommit themselves to the process and to continuously go to a deeper level.
Mm.
So holding myself and everybody that I attract to come and work with me, to hold them to the highest accountability, which is what I'm doing now with myself,
Yeah,
and
I love that.
it, you know, and it might sound so strange, but God does play a big role in this. When I talk about faith, I can't say I'm religious. I'm not Christian or anything, but I might be even more religious than most people are that go to church once a week. But because I understand that we are governed by universal principle,
Mm.
and something that now I am applying more consciously is meditation. This is the difference. I am now really activating my connection to source through meditation, whereby I can trust that, again, what I want, I already have, and what I need is already there. And so now all of a sudden, while I'm sitting here with no money on my bank, all of a sudden, all these people are calling again for sessions, and what have I really done? You know, when I was in another moment of financial stress, I went to this coach. I said, "You need to help me because I need to figure this out." Well, okay, what are your expenditures and what is your income? And then weigh the one against the other. And I'm like, no, no, this is
No.
old paradigm.
Yes.
This is old school. I don't want to come from that place. I just want to feel good in knowing that what I want is already there,
Yeah.
right? So
Wow.
this is where I am this very moment. And in these little moments of achievements, little steps that I'm taking where somebody calls me uh, to do a session with me, or while we're looking for a base where to call ourselves at home, because we've been living out of a suitcase literally for the past 2 years. I just heard from someone in Holland that there's an apartment available that we could move into if we wanted. And all these little moments bring so much joy and so much gratitude.
Mm.
Also, that is a something that is to be understood, an attitude of gratitude. When you're coming from gratitude, again, you're coming from the understanding that you have everything available.
Yeah.
Spirit or God or whatever you want to call it has given you all the tools available to be successful in every single area of your life.
Mm.
And I say to
Brilliant.
myself, not being completely successful is actually offending God.
Ooh.
You know, God wants you to prosper, to be healthy, and to be successful. So, to many people, that might sound really wishy-washy, way out there, but no, it's actually very practical. It's a practical understanding of the universal laws that governs us.
Wow.
Uh,
This is so powerful.
we all, we all have heard in the last 10 years, and it's become very much a fad or a hype as well, the law of
I knew
attraction.
you were going to say that.
And that's all
Yeah.
nice and, yeah, and that's all nice and well, but it needs to be applied in a completely different way. Because again, most of us are always only asking for things. I don't need to ask, I only need to give. Whatever it is we want from the world, we need to give to the world first.
Mm.
We need to plant these seeds. And and then again, trusting that the universe, will exactly bring that in by the law of compensation, bring to you exactly that in the equivalent value of what you are giving.
Yes.
And this is interesting because in the Bible, what do they say in the Bible? It says, this and more shall be given unto you. So I'm like, okay, this has always been given to me, but where's the
Where's the
more?
more?
Where's Where's the more?
Oh my
I
gosh.
want the more now.
But this
You know,
is so powerful because I'm really, the main message that's coming through for me here is failure is only ever failure if you don't get back up, right? If you don't learn the lessons. But otherwise, it's a teaching tool. It's something that helps us actually expand onto the next level. Like you were saying about your spiritual community that you were growing and how you failed at it for 18 years. But what I really took from that is how you're now speaking about the things you would have done or you should have done in hindsight. That's the lesson. That's why it didn't work, because now you've evolved and you've grown and you've realized those things now, but you couldn't have done that had it not happened then. So this is
correct.
such a powerful share. Thank you so much.
Yeah. In fact, trying to work on that community and creating, and putting a lot of effort and energy into that, I was literally carrying everybody, and it only led to a total burnout.
Yes.
I was completely exhausted. So hadn't that happened, I would have just continued, being my happy self.
Exactly, yes, doing the same thing.
But not getting anything out of this because I was only supporting them in their lack consciousness and that the idea that they, always need help and don't take responsibility for themselves.
Wow, but this is such a powerful share. Thank you so much for braving the stage and for being courageous and vulnerable with us all today and truly showcasing your real and raw leadership. Can you please tell everyone how they can get into your world?
Yes, I'm on Instagram, Mana Life Source, MANNA Life Source. I'm on Facebook under Robert Jade Tettero. And my website is also manalifesource.com.
Perfect. So all of the links will be below. If you're busy doing something else at the moment, don't panic. You can come back, click on those and make sure that you get in Robert's world. Robert, thank you so much for joining me today. And for you all, I will see you next time for the Dare to Share Challenge. Bye for now. It's caught in the crossfire.